Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Yeah, you know what it is. Hard worker, scrappy, unfiltered, and sometimes unhinged football content. Hard to explain, but you know it when you see it. Doing it daily our way. I don't know what you're talking about right now. Redraft and Dynasty Fantasy Football, we got you covered. You know their defense is ranked like 31st in the NFL? NFL draft prospects and rookies? Now you know you in the right place for that.
Absolutely.
All right, then stop saying it. Then we're done. And prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Count that money, man.
Now wipe the crust out of your eyes, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake your ass up with Ray G. You honestly are making absolutely no sense and you sound silly as hell. Let's get it. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good Friday, good people. It is Friday, May the 27th, 2022. I decided to wake up. Ray G, and for that, we are happy. We're appreciative. Glad you're here. Hope you all had a fantastic freaking week. The sun is shining. I'm feeling good. We got the wheel back. We got NFL football popping off, OTAs. We got some practice highlights. Got some good fun, some good things. So, good morning to everybody in the building. Who we got in here? Who we got? Let's go to the top. Ty in the building. James, Joe, my girl Joe, Lindsay Mack, back to back. Good morning to y'all beautiful ladies. Ricardo, Jeff, Marlon in the building. Who else we got? Roro, Dalton, said James, Matt Bruning. Listen, I have no clue what y'all are talking. We have no announcement. There is no announcement. I mean, Jay Rich, the classic pump and dump. We'll let Jay Rich talk about that in a minute, but I promise you, it's nothing worth staying on the edge of your seat about. I promise you that. Carlo in the building. Jeff, I said in the 7 goat rings. Tater, Wolf, Cole, World, Jacob. How y'all doing, baby? We got the wheel back. We got NFL news. And we got the man himself, Jay Rich, with a Boston Red Sox jersey on. What's up, Jay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Boston Red Sox are heating up, man. But Ray, I wanted to start the show with this because I don't think you saw this, and I doubt you saw it overall. But apparently, the Super Bowl is looking for a new sponsor. Pepsi is out. So I have to ask you, because naturally my business acumen says, well, how much would this cost? Like, is it possible for the Wake Up Show to become the official sponsor of the Super Bowl? And more importantly, would it be worth it? Do you, because you're a bit better businessman than I am, do you think being the sponsor of the Super Bowl would be worth it? And how much do you think it would cost?
We you know, my phone is open. The phone line is open for Wake Up and Super Bowl, the partnership. But I can tell you, we are not in that ballpark figure. That's dope that they're looking for a new Super Bowl partner, but we ain't there yet, baby. We are not. We are far from there at this point in time. Yeah, Nespresso, that's who should be. They should know. They should be the Wake Up sponsor, not. Man, I asked somebody the other day. I was like, "Hey, man, have you ever heard of Destination Debbie?" And they're like, "What? What is that?" And I was like, "Yeah, we ain't big time enough yet, Jay. We ain't big time enough yet for that. So we ain't even gonna set ourselves up for that." But we got some OTA stuff going on. OTA news. We want to spend a lot of time on the wheel. Jay did spend a lot of time putting those names in the wheel to get us ready to go, trying to keep the quarterbacks out of the conversation. But we got a little bit to talk about. For the NBA lovers out there, Golden State Warriors back in the NBA Finals. It's,
yes,
Jay, they had a little hiatus, but they're back, baby. Golden State, how you feeling about the Warriors? Warriors Celtics, is that going to be the NBA Finals this year? That's a good one, right?
Yeah, I mean, getting the Celtics in is important, right? They're a original franchise, winning franchise. That's important to the NBA. Do I think they can win is the real question. I don't know. The matchups are interesting. The weird thing about those two teams is both teams, when they played this year, won on the road, which is interesting because, we've seen the Celtics are typically really good at home, but have sucked so far on the road. And so, again, we'll see kind of what happens. But they kind of flipped in the playoffs. They're playing better on the road than they are at home. But I think the Warriors will give them a run. But it's close because the biggest thing with the Warriors is they're undersized. You have Boston, who's huge, but can they overcome that Warriors offense? I don't know. We'll see. But it should be a good matchup. Hopefully the Celtics can close out today, and we don't have to worry about a Game 7 in Miami, because that could make things a little dicey for the Celtics.
Is this what we consider a dynasty? We talked about the New England Patriots. We've talked about Alabama and their run in college football. Is 6 final appearances in 8 years. Can you consider that a dynasty, or is the fact that they missed a couple of years due to all the injuries, right? does that knock them out of the conversation as a dynasty? Like, what's your opinion? The Patriots, we consider them a dynasty in the NFL, right? Alabama, everything that they've done is just dynasty. The Nick Saban era is a dynasty. Is what Golden State has accomplished, just making 6 finals in 8 years. Is that dynasty?
I think so, honestly. Like, I think the bigger part that makes it a dynasty is not only did they do it on their own first, then they did it with Kevin Durant, and then people said, well, can they get back and do it again, right? And if they do, like, they really did retool and bring in new pieces again after losing really important players to their team and get back. The core of Steph, Clay, and Draymond are still there, but Jordan Poole plays a big role, and you see the way they drafted Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. Like, these guys all matter. But it's funny they talk about the Cavs and the Heat. It's like LeBron is just his own dynasty in the East, wherever he was at when he went to 12 straight finals. I forget what the exact number is. He's his own dynasty, and then you have the Warriors on the other end. But I think the fact they were able to kind of retool, come back, they did deal with injuries too, right? So that was part of the reason why they weren't there. But I think you have to consider them a dynasty, whether they win or lose, to be there 6 of 8 times. More importantly, to come all the way back after losing to the Raptors, like, what was that, 3 years ago now, it seems like? To come all the way back after injuries to Steph, injuries to Clay is pretty damn impressive for Steve Kerr and the bunch to do that again.
Love it, man. And Mike, I was waiting for Mike. Yes, there we go, Mike. Let's get Mike Anderson. I need to know who your favorite NBA team is, Mike A. I just got to know. Okay, it must be Milwaukee. He just said Bucks still in it. All right, so yeah, we got game 6 tonight, Boston and Miami. Hopefully, Boston closes it out and gets it over with, because what we want to see, entertainment purposes, I think Celtics Warriors make for the most compelling NBA final series that we can get. And it was good to see Klay Thompson finally find his groove after not having it the entire year. So good for the Warriors. But Jay, we got some highlight clips. Let's go ahead and bump the ADP because old Treylon Burks. Did you see this catch? Did you see?
I saw you pumping up his value to the moon.
I didn't pump his value. All I said was Treylon Burks, and then I put an emoji. That's all I did. All I did is put Treylon Burks.
Was it a moon emoji?
Look at this. No, it wasn't the moon emoji. Look at this catch radius. Let's slow this down. Look at this. Look at this. Of course, there's no defender there. The guy's got a yellow jersey on. But bro, I'm pretty. Listen, he's catching balls from Tannehill.
When people say air yards don't matter, this is what we're talking about. Those yards versus air is the air yards that don't matter in the NFL. But it's what he does well, right? He's showing off his skills a little bit. The Titans social media team's got something to post, which is good for them. Making their job real easy.
He still looks a little. You know who he reminds me of? His body type reminds me of Luka. They just don't look. They don't look like. You know what I'm saying? They don't look.
He reminds me of seeing a catch like that. Reminds me of almost like Andre Johnson.
Well, no, I'm talking about their body types. I'm talking about how they look. Like Luka looks out of shape. You can't compare
anybody to Luka, man. Luka's his own animal.
Treylon doesn't look good. Like if you just look at him, he doesn't look like the arms. They just look normal, right? There's no kind of definition to him. But man, look at that shit. I don't care what he look. I'm just saying he just doesn't look very supreme athlete, but
I don't know. You look at that. You look at that screenshot right there. It looks pretty supreme if you ask me.
Somebody said Burks is in the best shape of his life already. So like you see him, it's just kind of. But he's gonna be good, man. Then we got Justyn Ross. You got a little Justyn Ross. Jay, how you feeling about this one-handed snag from the UDFA Justyn Ross?
Looking good. I once called him the biggest sleeper in Dynasty, late second round pick. I think that's what I said. He should go in rookie drafts. I mean, the call is looking a little bit better today than it was. Oh my God! Look
before, at Joe said Burks looks good. He's so cute. What is Joe talking about? All right, so we got
Justyn Ross, man.
Good catch. Ross. Yes.
Good catch. Patrick Mahomes was impressed, right? That's what mattered. Then you got Kyle Pitts.
And then we got Kyle Pitts, right? This was the next news. This was Kyle Pitts. We got Pitts. Hey, man.
At least it was against a real defender this time. That's always good. You got Kyle Pitts running a little seam route up the middle. Yeah. Fading a little bit. Marcus Mariota on a dime. Looking good.
Did you notice Mariota's got the new jersey number 2, Jay? He's
rocking number 1?
Yeah, he's rocking the 1.
That's the Oregon days, right?
No, he's
Oregon?
worn 8 his whole career. But I mean, Kyle Pitts has 8,
Wow.
so he's not getting the 8 off of Kyle Pitts. But what do you think, man? We got the practice highlights. How we feeling about these, man? You feeling good about Mariota and Pitts? You feeling good about Ross, Treylon? What do we think here?
I mean, Treylon looks fine. The value bump is gonna be good for his value if you got some Treylon Burks. You know, we've been a little bit in a fade Treylon season in some respects, but maybe it's bumps him up to wide receiver 1 now. Would you think he's wide receiver 1 now ahead of Drake London? No, you're not there yet.
He's still my 2. There's no fade Treylon over here, man. He's number 2. Somebody said smart man. He'll be the number 1 guy. Number 1 bench guy for the Falcons this year, and Matt Bruning is the resident Desmond Ritter lover out here, right? Yeah. Desmond Ritter lover. All right, let's pull out the wheel, Jay. Let's get it. Mike A says, I don't hate or love Ross, but I will be impressed if he even makes a team with no special team. That's me too. Like,
that's the problem.
Like, we are rooting for Justyn Ross. Like, I don't think anybody wants to see Justyn Ross fail. Nobody, right? But I mean, UDFA took him a while to get signed. Apparently he looks good out there. But it does still seem like an uphill battle. But to Ross's point and credit, you know, did you see McCole Hardman's not at OTAs? He's got a tweaked hammy. So Hardman's
I thought he was holding out too. Holding out for that new contract.
Yeah,
but I'm not surprised, man. He's a sprinter, right? Those guys got to be loose, got to be stretched. And if they run too quick, too fast, all of a sudden they got a pulled hammy. So it happens.
Got to be loose and stretch. That's what she said. So let's take a look at the wheel right here, and let's get to some player values. Let's get it. Let's just start it off. How we do this? We took the quarterbacks off this time, and now it is just skill position players. Got a couple of young guys in here, but we got some older players as well. So let's get it popping, Jay, and we're going to do a little would you rather. These old players versus this old player. We got Keep Trade cut up, so we'll take a look at their value. So the first player we're talking about now, okay, a mid-2023 first. In your drafts, would you prefer a mid-2023 first-round pick? And we'll keep the picks in there. We'll take the players out. Mid-23 first-rounder or, oh, this is a good one. All right, or Dalvin Cook. Jay, mid-23 first right now or Dalvin Cook in Dynasty? Which would you rather have?
I'm taking the first, I think. I think I'm taking the first. It's close, though, because if it's like mid to late, like if it's past 6,
okay,
I think you're in trouble.
Jay
but
Peters,
if it's
Jay
above
says,
6, then I think you're good.
We got
how many guys do you think you need? I think you gotta be in the top 6, or you're probably in trouble. Cook's good though. He's going to be very good.
Well, and let's frame it this way. This is super flex, right? So let's just say the quarterbacks we believe, because we don't know shit, but Stone said buy Dalvin. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. Those are the quarterbacks, right? So that's 2 quarterbacks. Yep. Then you got Bijan Robinson and let's just say Jahmyr Gibbs. So that's 4. And then 5 and 6 without knowing Anthony Richardson, any of that stuff. Let's just say Jackson Smith and Jigba. And at 106, you've got either Anthony Richardson or Kayshon Boutte. Would you rather Anthony Richardson or Kayshon Boutte right now or Dalvin Cook?
Man, I think I got to take a shot on Anthony Richardson or Kayshon Boutte. It's just, as much as I like Dalvin, at some point you have to make that switch. And we didn't even mention that another running back could, pop into that top 6. We're not projecting it. But at least one of them will. There's probably 5 or 6 guys that have a shot that could be RB3, and we'll see. But yeah, I think you have to re-roll the value and go for that next guy. As much as I like Cook, I think I would be taking that 23 first.
That's interesting. Mid. So the takeaway here is if you're a win now team, right? Like
100%.
Win, like you're ready to go get it. If you're a win now team, like I think a lot of people would just accept any 23 first, right? So maybe that's a move you can go make. Like I still think Dalvin's got 2 good years left in him, like 2 good years before it starts to fall off of a cliff. So if you have that faith and confidence in Dalvin Cook, if you're a good team and that 23 first is projected to be a little bit later, Maybe you do that. I don't know, man. I don't
So
know what people would do.
our good friends at KTC, they have a mid 23 first, 3 spots ahead of Dalvin Cook
There it is.
in their rankings.
And y'all
Just
talk
ahead of a
about
few
y'all
other
talk that
guys.
shit about keep trade cut, and look at that. Look at that right
What's
there.
crazy is the early 23 that's early 22 first is that high. But yeah, 23 first, 38th overall in their dynasty rankings as a pick.
All right.
That's high, but
All right.
It's
Let's
what it is.
go. Let's go. Let's spin it again. Y'all said it. The vote was give me the mid 23 first over Dalvin Cook. And we're going to go Lombardi Lenny. Leonard Fournette. All right. Would you rather have you some Leonard Fournette right now in Dynasty? Or would you rather have, this would be fun. Yes, two older players, 2 different positions.
This is good.
Leonard Fournette or Amari Cooper.
Oh man, that's okay.
Okay.
Oh, Ray, I don't know. This is hard. So the more productive player this year is Leonard Fournette. I think that's guaranteed, right?
Yes.
But after that, after that, how many good years does Amari Cooper have left? 3?
I was gonna say 3, 4,
maybe more.
3, 4.
This is tough. I think I would honestly go with Leonard Fournette. I think
really.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Okay,
The reason why I would is because I wouldn't bank on the long-term value for Coop, and that's why I think I would take Fournette. As much as I do like Cooper, we're probably not going to see a very good-looking Cooper with whoever's like quarterback in Cleveland. You got to get scrolling. Like you got to go down there if you're going to be going after those guys. I don't even think they're on the first page of these drafts right now because you got Amari Cooper at 84, Leonard Fournette at 94.
Yeah.
Right. So it's interesting, right? Cooper's only 27. Fournette's also 27. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. Like,
but you're not getting anything from Cooper. That like maybe you get something, but you're probably not getting a lot from Cooper this year because who's his quarterback? Is it I don't even know who's their backup. It's the guy from Indy and Miami.
Jacoby
Brissett. I think I'm banking on the production from Lenny this year. I don't think you want either of those guys long term, and so give me the guy that's going to produce this season more than likely for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's what Dynasty Barry said. He said no one ever wants these guys. Get the guy who's going to give you more production and get a younger position for scarcity. Man. Bruning says feels weird saying this, but Fournette, I don't think Cleveland brings back Cooper. Wow, you don't think they bring him back, Bruning?
How many more years does he have in his contract? Probably at least 2, right?
I don't know. I think like 1 maybe.
So where are you going, Ray? Where have you decided yet? Are you just letting the people?
No, I'm just letting the people decide. I'm only gonna do ones that make me look right at the end because I don't know. I guess it's Leonard Fournette. We're gonna spin again. I'm abstaining from that. The King, or the King?
Oh,
Derrick Henry. All right, this is 100% a would you rather for a win now team. So we're going to take Derrick Henry out. Would you rather King Henry for the next 2 years on your dynasty roster, or this is easy, right? Is this easy?
Yeah, you got to go with DJ Moore.
Got to go.
You got to go with the youth, I think. I like King Henry. I think he's going to be good, but DJ Moore, I think you got to roll with DJ Moore. He's too good. If everything hits for him, he's going to be a top probably 10 receiver. I know. I'm not trying to say he's going to do it.
Keep saying this every year about DJ Moore. Every year.
How many years have I said Deontay Johnson over DJ Moore?
If he
every year
can catch touchdowns, we say this every year about DJ Moore. If he can, and he never does. It never does, right? Rico says Henry. Rico says, give me Henry.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think it's crazy. But I think the value is much more skewed to DJ Moore, and that's the reason why you take him. But you're right. He averaged a touchdown every 300 yards, which is god awful for touchdown's sake. He needs a quarterback. Hasn't had one forever, but people still value him a lot. There's a DJ Moore truther in every league.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to between these two guys. Is you got to take
So,
DJ Moore.
Let me.
But production standpoint, it's probably going to be Henry for at least this year, maybe even 2 years.
I think it's at least 2, in my opinion. So here, that's just my, and a lot of people are saying Henry. I think you got to go more because of the youth. But I just asked this question. Like, let me frame it like this. For the next 2 years, which player is easier to replace as far as fantasy production in your lineup? Do you think it's easier to find someone to give you Derrick Henry production, or to find somebody to give you what DJ Moore will probably give you over the next 2 years?
It's Derrick Henry. Will be tougher to replace. Yeah, for sure.
Is that worth passing on Moore? Like, straight up, if you're a win, let's just say you're a win now team, and you want to win that $1,000 pot, that $1,500 pot, that $2,000 pot. I'm really asking the question because I know it's easy for us to say, oh, the youth, but what's more important to that roster, right? Is it to have a guy that you're going to have on your team from 27 to 30 for an additional 3 years, or it's to have the player that could finish as a top 5 running back for the next year or two, right? If that's what you think. I don't think he's like, he wasn't dust last year. He was fucking balling and then hurt his pinky toe.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right. He almost had 1,000 yards. I believe he was still top 10 in rushing last season or something crazy like that in the 8 games he played. So you from a value standpoint and win now standpoint, of course, the answer is Derrick Henry, but the value probably leans towards DJ Moore if you want to just play the value game in Dynasty.
And that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's all this whole thing, right? Like, this whole thing is just, it's so team specific, right? Like, it's so, because you're 100% right. There's no doubt DJ Moore has more value, even though, you know, I just feel more confident if I had to roll out one of those guys in my lineup. Like, I feel really good about Derrick Henry, and you're like, man, I hope DJ Moore catches a touchdown this week. So, let's see. Let's go to the next one. Let's roll it again. Let's spin the wheel one more time and see what we get to face off here. Some Saquon Barkley. Saquon.
Oh, buddy.
Little Saquon. I kind of want to leave Saquon in here, too. We're going to leave Saquon. We got Saquon Barkley. Looked good. He had some OTA practice highlights, too, and he looked pretty good.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. Saquon or Deebo Samuel. 2 running backs. Which running back would you rather have? Both of them just always injured. Which running back would you rather have? But it's literally the same player. They're 2 running backs that catch passes, man. Which one would you rather have? Deebo Samuel or Saquon Barkley, Jay?
I'm taking Deebo Samuel. I am.
Really?
I think Deebo Samuel could easily be the better asset, both short and long term. And part of it is because I've been burned by Saquon Barkley for a while. But at the same time, like, the San Francisco 49ers are still a good team. If he gets traded, again, it's going to lead to an extension and ultimately still high usage, right? So I think no matter where Deebo ultimately plays this season or in the following seasons, he's going to be really good. He's going to see a lot of usage. Yes, it comes down to health, but at the same time, it's the same question for Barkley. So if we're making the health case for either guy, I think it's a moot point. At that point, I'm betting on the player that I think will produce at the highest level, and I think that's Deebo Samuel for me.
I'm adding a name to the wheel. I'm adding Michael. I want to add Michael Thomas in here. Let's get MT in there and his broken ankle. Let's get MT in there just for shits and man. I think I'd rather Saquon Barkley, man. I think I would rather. You make a beautiful case. I think I'd rather Saquon, man. The people look like, oh man, Giants will have a better offense this year. Barkley wants a contract. He's gonna go.
You don't know it's a better offense this year. We're hoping with Dable, but we don't know.
Like, I think it's gonna be better. It's got to be a better.
The actual
offense.
Pieces aren't very good, even with Barkley, even with Wandell. It's still Daniel Jones. Like, there's a lot of, Yeah, the devil's juice is there's some truth to that. That's
Come
the problem.
on, man. Stop. Big body bark. Yes, Jimbo. Big body bark.
It's a very interesting debate. We may have to poll this later on and see what people think, because it's an interesting case for sure as to who you want in Dynasty, especially long term.
I honestly don't. I think it would be.
Can you make a decision? Are you going with Saquon? are you going with Saquon definitively?
Yes. Yeah.
No more cop outs from you. You passed too many times.
I passed one time. I passed once. Yes, I want Saquon Barkley. Where's old Deebo ranked at right now? Where do people have Deebo? Where do they have?
He's got to be high as hell, man.
Wide receiver 7 still.
Yeah, man. People like themselves some Deebo. 25th overall. Wow.
Would you take Deebo over DK? There's no way, right?
No, I'm not taking him over DK, but I would take him over Saquon.
Where's Saquon at? Where's
He's down at 54 behind Alvin Kamara.
RB 15? Shit. You would take would you take JK
Alvin
Dobbins?
Kamara?
Would you take Dobbins over Saquon?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that Dobbins is going to be good, right? No, because he's on an offense that's good. He's got a good running game. Like, I don't think we know what the Giants' offense is, and that's what gives me concerns for Barkley. As talented as he is, as I'll roster him every year, but it's still tough to take him over guys I think just have a better shot to produce.
Oh boy! All right.
I think the real question, Ray, is Barkley a win now piece? Like, would you say
yes?
He's no longer you can't say he's a buy and hold, a buy low. If you taking him, he's a win now piece.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Yeah. All right. Whew, apparently my perception of Saquon Barkley is quite skewed. All right. Mike Evans. Big okay. Mike. One of the most underrated wide receivers in NFL history. Big Mike Evans. Would you rather him? That's a win now piece. Please be Michael Thomas. Mike Evans or AK-41.
Kamara. Ooh.
AK-41 or Mike Evans. Where are we going, Jay? Where are we going?
I think I have to roll with AK. I think I do. I don't like Mike Evans very much. I disparage Mike Evans' name weekly. He is very good, though. Very, very good. And I think if you want to take Mike Evans, this is really the year without Chris Godwin for the first, 6 to 10 weeks. He could be really, really good.
He could smash, right?
Like, he could have his best season this year of his entire career, especially to start. But I think I'm going to roll with AK. I think I believe in the offense. I believe in his usage. I think they're going to be a better offense this year with Michael Thomas back. It's close, right? But I do think I'm going to roll with AK. I think he's got obviously the higher ceiling, especially with the touchdowns. I do like Mike Evans. He's good, but he's aging. Do people want to trade for him? Not really. Jesus. Like, you don't see him very high. 74 overall is where he is in the rankings.
Mike Evans is only 28?
Yeah. Yeah, he's down there, and I get it. People, there may be some concerns, but one of the best win now pieces probably in football. I know I was seeing I think it was Jordan Vanek who put it out. He was talking about coverages, right? And Tampa Bay is going to face the most cover one in the first 2 weeks of the season in the NFL, which means a lot of deep routes for Mike Evans. He's probably going to have 2 really good games to start the season. But I still think I'm going to roll with AK personally. Ray, where are you at with these two guys? Do you think you would take Evans, or are you going to roll with AK?
I mean, it's interesting to me because Kamara is 26, right? Did he just turn 26 years old? I think
he's turning 27. He's pretty old. He's older.
Like, would you rather a 27-year-old running back or where the running backs at? Come on, keep trade. What's going on here?
This is user error, my guy.
Like, what did I do?
He will be turning 27 at the end of July. So he'll be a 27-year-old running back versus Mike Evans, who I believe is 29.
He'll be 29 by the season. Yeah. So,
damn, me and Mike Evans are the same age. Jesus.
Me and Frank Gore are the same age. I think I would rather probably Alvin Kamara. is where I lean, Jay. Probably Alvin Kamara, but I don't know, man. This one is all right. Next wheel. What did the people say? What did everybody say? What did everybody say?
They've already moved on. They're asking other questions in the chat. They're going all over the place. We see some Kamara, some Evans, bit of both. Mixed bag.
All right, mixed bag. Fine. I'll move on. Keenan Stefan Diggs. All right.
Diggs. Let's
Diggs.
go.
Diggs just got a contract extension. Josh Allen. Diggs or Keenan Allen?
Oh, we got to spin it again. It's Diggs.
All right, we got to spin it again. All right.
We got to spin it again. That's Diggs.
All right. Diggs, I wanted to land on Godwin.
Running back.
I wanted to land. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy. Ugh. There we go. We literally put this on here for Joe. We said that no matter what position we talk about, we could be talking about punters. We're going to have Antonio Gibson on the wheel. So would you rather Stefan Diggs or Antonio Gibson in Dynasty?
Well, here's the problem, Ray, is that if Antonio Gibson hits, is he more valuable than Stefan Diggs?
Talk about it.
Maybe.
If he goes out there and balls this year, who's got more value? That 24, 25-year-old running back or 28 going into 29-year-old wide receiver Stefan Diggs? Like, let's give it best case scenario. If Antonio Gibson goes out there and smashes, who's more valuable, Diggs or Gibson?
It's Gibson. Gibson was already valued ahead of Diggs this season. Coming off a 250 carry season. He had a 300 touch season for 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns, and nobody wants him. 300 touches, 1,300 yards, and 10 touchdowns, and nobody wants this guy. What if he has more opportunity this season? What if he has 1,500 yards with 50 receptions, not 10 touchdowns. We'll go all the way to 15 touchdowns. How high is he ranked in Dynasty at 24 years old?
People will pivot just like they did with Joe Mixon. Remember, was it 2 years ago when no one wanted Mixon?
I think the Joe Mixon case is very similar to Gibson, but Gibson produced a little bit higher end than Mixon did. But yeah, if he does smash, he will be Joe Mixon. I'm just saying it's possible.
Right now, the answer is Stefan Diggs. But it's going to be what I want more than anything is for Gibson to go out there and play really well, because the backpedal by the entire community, a lot of people are going to be eating crow because apparently Gibson sucks. He stinks. He's not good. I think I'd rather Diggs right now, but Gibson, this is prove it year for Gibson. And if he does smash, Jay, it's going to be a similar parallel like Mixon, where people were out on Mixon and then he went out there and did well and then boom, right? Like, now,
and heaven forbid he gets that extension too.
Could be behind the 8 ball, right? So, but I think right now the answer is Stefan Diggs. So, we're getting to gross land right now. Oh, Mike Thomas, come on. Aaron Jones. Nobody's talking about Aaron Jones right now because
nobody wants Aaron Jones.
AJ Dillon's quads are all over the internet. So would you rather some Aaron Jones or Austin Ekeler? Man. It's easy, right?
Oh, no, I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy. So you're hold on, Ray. Have you seen the crazy stats of how good Aaron Jones is without Davante Adams in the lineup? Like, yes, we may be looking at an Austin Ekeler type of usage for Aaron Jones. And it's not like you're getting an age discount. You're betting on Justin Herbert and the offense. I get it from the standpoint of value. You want Ekeler, and I'm totally with that. But if we're just talking strictly production, is there a world where Aaron Jones outproduces Ekeler potentially even significantly this season?
I think there's a world in which that happens.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go significant.
It's not a hard case to make, really, for
I'm not going to go significant.
Jones.
I'm not going to go significantly outproduce Ekeler. I'm not going to go that far. But I do agree that there is a world in which Aaron Jones outproduces Austin Ekeler, man. And I think My brother from another mother, Raymond Morris, said Aaron Jones fantasy points per game equals 28 without Davante Adams. They don't have a wide receiver that you just look at and say he's going to be the dominant guy. It's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones. It's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones could be due for his best season of his career.
Ever.
Now, I know
100%.
he had 20 touchdowns one year, so I mean that's kind of hard to surpass, but I think he could absolutely crush this year. And he's going so late in dynasty startups, man.
Ray, can we change this narrative a little bit? Do you think this is a great tier down trade? If we're taking Austin Ekeler, the high value coming off RB2 season, what kind of value would you look for if you were saying, okay, I have Austin Ekeler. That's great. I love Austin Ekeler. He's going to have a great year. But Aaron Jones is kind of undervalued right now. So if we're targeting Aaron Jones, knowing that he's probably going to see a ton of targets this year with Aaron Rodgers, and especially with Davante Adams being gone, and we've talked about the stats that do land in Jones's favor, but could we maybe get, Aaron Jones and a 24 first for Austin Ekeler right now in Dynasty? And is that a move you'd be willing to make? I'm assuming you'd be willing to make it.
Patrick just said it. He said you can get Jones plus for Ekeler. So I think you're right. It's a great tier down. I think if you're a win now roster, they're both the same age. They're both 27 years old. I
think Jones is 1 year older.
He's 1 year older than Ekeler. Okay. All right. Well, they're roughly around the same tier age.
Right on the same.
So you could definitely, if you had Austin Ekeler and you were comfortable with Aaron Jones, you felt good about the situation this year. I do, right? I'm not insinuating that he's going to go out there and get 170 targets now. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I think this is a perfect tier down for a win now roster, and I would be happy with Aaron Jones. And what do you want? Aaron Jones and what? Do you think, and I'm asking this question to the audience, do you think you can get a 24, not 23, but 24 first rounder on top of Aaron Jones for Ekeler? Do you think that's possible? Now, a lot of people aren't thinking about 24.
I do think it's possible, because I think you're telling someone, look, you don't have to mortgage this year. You got Ekeler for 2 years. Jones, who knows, with no Davante Adams and A.J. Dillon probably taking more carries away from him. I think you could make the case pretty easily. And I think the value of Aaron Jones speaks to really how people feel about him. And for you, if you're trying to make that switch, you just sell him on, Ekeler was RB2. Go look at any redraft rankings. He's in the top 3, the top 5. Aaron Jones is probably outside the top 10 for a lot of people because they don't see the potential inside of him. But he still had 65 targets last year. Austin Ekeler had 95. That number could be a lot closer for Aaron Jones this season. If I think he gets to that, he's going to be really, really good. He will be splitting carries with Dillon, but I think overall, he's still going to have a very high ceiling. And we've seen it on multiple occasions for Aaron Jones, how good he can be. And Ekeler, we assume he's going to regress a little bit. Maybe Isaiah Spiller gets some touchdowns and takes some of that rushing work away. And they've already talked about potentially bringing down his carries and his touch load overall because he dealt with injuries.
All right. Good conversation. All right. We got Godwin. Chris Godwin, still relatively young. We got Chris Godwin. Would you rather some Chris Godwin in Dynasty or Davante Adams? So you got a big age. This is all age. This is 100% ageist right here. Right now, Who do you want on your roster? Davante Adams or Chris Godwin?
It's Davante Adams, and it's not really close. If you are trying to take either of these guys, you might get a decent season from Godwin. I love Godwin. I don't love him in Tampa Bay, though. I've been talking about how I want him to leave for a long time so we can kind of be the guy on his own team. And we've already talked about, is Brady even going to be there beyond this season? We really don't know, but it's pretty easily Davante and his situation and his talent over Chris Godwin.
Easy. All right, I don't know how Jerry Jeudy snuck in here, but that Russell Wilson bump is real. So would you rather some Jerry Jeudy right now in Dynasty, Jerry Jeudy, or...
Oh, no.
Oh, baby.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes, the wheel gave us strike. A gem. Jerry Jeudy or Courtland Sutton? Have it, Jay.
Who do you want, Ray? Who? I know who you would pick. I'm going to take Jeudy, though. I'm going to take Jeudy.
Who would I take?
Oh, you're a Sutton guy.
I am a Sutton guy.
You are a Sutton guy.
I got a type.
Big body guys.
I do. I'm a Sutton guy. I would take Courtland Sutton.
You know what I think it is, right? I think it's because you're short. You know how girls talk about how they just love to look up and see a nice, tall, big
Oh
guy.
my.
I think that's what it is personally.
You think I just want to look
I'm a
up to
taller
those
gentleman,
guys?
so I just like to a little bit. You want to hang out with them. You want to be with the tall crew. It's just
Jay, you're
it's
2 inches taller than me. You act like you act like you're
think,
Drake.
You think I'm 2 inches taller
Did you
than
see
you,
the
but I am
picture of
not.
Drake London and Calvin Austin standing next to each other? Is that what you think this is? Do you think I'm Calvin Austin and you're freaking Drake London out here?
I am significantly taller than you. It's just that is a fact, and you will see one day it will come to the realization will be there, and maybe you'll want to hang with me because I'm a little bit taller too. So I would take that in stride. I'm more of I like to look you in the eyes kind of guy. So I like those 6'1" receivers.
Answer the fucking question. All right, you want
I'm
Jerry Jeudy?
I think Jerry Jeudy will be unlocked with Russell Wilson, and he will be better than Courtland Sutton this season. I'm rolling with Jerry Jeudy. I love me some.
That's it? You just think like
No, I don't think. I mean, he's a more talented route runner. He's more explosive. I think that as much as I like Courtland Sutton, he did it all on one season with nobody there. Yes, they have a quarterback now, but I think that Russell Wilson will prefer a Jerry Jeudy type receiver who, while he did have DK, I think that Jerry Jeudy is more of a mix of what DK does well, because Jeudy can still go up and get a ball, right? Tyler Lockett ain't really doing that so much, but for me, I am taking Jerry Jeudy over Courtland Sutton.
I think it's an interesting conversation on who's going to be Russell Wilson's one in that offense, right? And you look like
I don't think they will be a one though. He's
Well,
not a one type of guy.
Well, that's why I was like, we're just trying to compare the situation in Seattle to the situation in Denver, right? So the Tyler Lockett would be Jerry Jeudy,
Be closer to Jeudy, yeah.
and the DK Metcalf would be the Courtland Sutton sort of comp. Russ likes to put the ball downfield, and Courtland Sutton is very good at tracking the ball deep. Those type of air yard plays. I think Courtland Sutton. I think that's going to be the question. I think Courtland Sutton has more air yards than Jerry Jeudy at the end of the year, and we know that the more air yards you have, right? Like that's what you want. You want those targets that are down the field, right? You want those chunk gain plays. I kind of in two separate players, but I look at it like LSU in 2019, the college LSU team. Like Justin Jefferson had over 110 receptions. He had a lot of yards. Jamar Chase only had 80-something receptions that year, but he had the most yards because he was taking the targets that were down the field. I think at the end of this season, we'll look up and we'll see Jerry Jeudy probably out-targets Courtland Sutton, maybe even has more receptions, but I think we'll look up. And I believe Courtland Sutton will have more touchdowns and he'll have more receiving yards than Jerry Jeudy. I think both are going to be extremely, extremely good in that offense. But I would roll with Courtland Sutton if I had the choice between the two teams. Two players.
That's fine. I mean, it's your type, right? I'm a route running guy. You're a big body receiver guy.
And
so
this,
we're putting
this,
our
this
two
is
types
the
against
biggest
each other.
facts of the whole show. Jay Rich definitely has the slowest 40
100%.
time.
100%. I'm carrying a little extra weight right now, but don't worry.
All right, let's go to the last one. Hopefully it's a go. Let's get Saquon. Let's get Michael Thomas out. Let's skew the election results here. Let's get this out of here. Let's get Saquon out of here. And let's get this first and a 23 third out of here. All right. And let's get Keenan Allen out of here. Why don't I just put it to what I want, right? Let's get Tyreek Hill out of here.
Pretty much.
Oh, shit. I was trying to take Tyreek out. Now it's going to land on him. Nick Chubb. Would you rather use some Nick Chubb right now in Dynasty? Who does it have to land on for this to be close? It's not going to be Tyreek. No. From this list, rank them. Tyreek.
Rank them.
Deontay. Late 23 first. Rank them. So we'll take Allen Robinson out. A-Rob is gone. McLaurin's not in there. All right, rank these four. Here we go. Mid 23 first. Tyreek Hill, Deontay Johnson. How would you rank them? These three.
I'm going with Tyreek, Deontay in the first. I still would take Deontay over a first right now.
You would take Deontay over a mid 23 first. We talked about Keyshawn Boutte, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yep.
Potentially Anthony Richardson, Sean Tucker, Jahmyr Gibbs. You would take that Diontae Johnson over all the players I just named.
Yep. Yeah, I would take Diontae Johnson over the mid 23 first for sure. As much as I say he's a bit of a sell high right now, I don't think that's the right offer for me. I would be holding on to Diontae Johnson for that.
Hill and Johnson, 7 Goat Rings said Hill and Johnson over the picks. Tyreek first, then Deontay. Tyreek first. A lot of people saying that mid first over Deontay. A lot of people saying that mid first over Deontay, Jay.
They can say that. I mean, I don't know how many years in a row you have to disparage Diontae Johnson before you realize that he's really good. I'm not saying that you should be buying him at cost, but I've been saying for how long, Ray? 2 years. Diontae Johnson's going to be the guy, and people are now realizing it finally, and now they're saying he's too expensive. But I don't think a bet on Kayshon Boutte is the right move for the Steelers wide receiver one, who we know is a productive role in the NFL.
Jackson Smith and Jigba or Diontae Johnson right now?
You're just pulling on my heartstrings. But I think I have to take Diontae Johnson because I believe he's the guy. Even if it's JSN. As good as I think JSN could be, he would be lucky to be Diontae Johnson. I think that's the reality of just like outcomes from these draft picks, period. To see JSN be a 170 target guy in the NFL, he would be very lucky to do that.
Man, I see a couple. So Bruning started this propaganda, but they've got Tyreek Hill last. And John said it too. John said Tyreek is last for him. That they take the mid first and Diontae Johnson over Tyreek Hill.
You can't do that today. I think depending on how things shake out in Miami, the case could be made for sure. Because again, if Tyreek only sees 120 targets and Diontae sees 160, that value is gonna be closer, right? And again, it's just, I get why someone would say that. I just can't do that today. I believe that Tyreek is going to be really, really good. He got the extension, all these things pointing his direction. There's just no way I could take over Tyreek Hill right now.
White Phoenix, appreciate you, big dog. Have a great weekend, my friend. He sent a super chat in, said, love the show. Keep up the content. Appreciate you, White Phoenix, for jumping in here. It's my first time seeing you, brother. So good to have you on board, man. Good to have you on board. Travis, what's up, my guy? He's got a Tennessee Volunteers polo on here. I don't know about that Tennessee Volunteers, man. It's USC today, baby. We're going college rivalries. USC today. Definitely a contender. In Superflex, Pickett will go top 4 in my league. Do I trade Terry McLaurin, Jay Rich, for the 105 and replace him at wide receiver? McLaurin is currently his wide receiver 4. So Pickett's going to go top 4. All right. So let's play this out for him. This is a good exercise. Drake London, Breece Hall, Kenny Pickett, Kenneth Walker are probably going to be the picks. Would you rather, Jay, Treylon Burks or Garrett Wilson over Terry McLaurin? Who would you rather have as your wide receiver 4?
Hell no. I'm not doing that. There's no way. Ray, I want you to tell me why I should do that.
Okay.
Because there's no way I'm doing that.
So I'll just make the case for why you should. Terry McLaurin's on an offense that has Carson Wentz. They just spent the first-round pick on another wide receiver, Jahan Dotson. Yes, Carson Wentz did help support Michael Pittman Jr. last year, but none of us have faith and confidence in Carson Wentz moving forward. Right now, Terry McLaurin does not have a contract extension in place from the Commanders, but that should change. We anticipate him having that, right? But none of us believe that Carson Wentz is the long-term answer in Washington. And if you're going to, you look at Terry McLaurin last year, inconsistent production, up and down. Think he's a top 10 talent at the receiver position in a bottom 10 situation. If they do decide to move on from Carson Wentz next year, I don't believe Washington's going to be bad enough to end up with the number 1, number 2, number 3 overall pick. They will not be drafting Bryce Young, or maybe Bryce Young if he falls to size concerns, but CJ Stroud probably out of the question. And if Anthony Richardson balls out this year, because his size is just, he may be drafted ahead of Bryce Young. So if I'm making the case for 105 and I'm looking at Burks, who should be the number 1.
Wilson. Right? You're looking at Wilson.
You're looking at Wilson with Wilson. That would be the case that I make. I'm not saying I'm just for the sake of the show, I'm making the case for why you should pivot off of Terry McLaurin right now. If I knew this was London, I would 100% do it. I'd rather have Drake London over Terry McLaurin right now.
And I think that's fine. I don't hate that take. He's the one guy that we've talked about that I actually believe will be the guy right away, right? To the point where he's not going to lose value. He's going to maintain that value. His value is extremely high. Terry will be 27, right? But again, it's just the talent. It almost reminds me of DeAndre Hopkins when he didn't have a quarterback. Like, even though DeAndre Hopkins was even better because DeAndre Hopkins was like stupid good, but just what Terry's done with so little at quarterback. If Wentz is anything to me, like it could mean that he has like the best season of his career by a mile, because his best season was actually his second year from a yardage standpoint. But again, last season he only had 130 targets versus 134 in 15 games, right? So we'll see what happens. But I do believe that Terry could be in for his best season with Wentz. As much as we want to say that Wentz sucks, he was pretty good to Michael Pittman. And so I think he'll be pretty good to Terry McLaurin as well.
And I saw a comment, if he's the wide receiver 4 on your roster, depending on what your starting, roster spots are, why not invest long term? He's not your 1 or 2 or 3. I would rather have Garrett Wilson over Terry McLaurin long term as my wide. I'd rather take a shot on building with that youth to keep my pipeline in flux. That like in a good pipeline. I don't think it's out of the question to say you'd rather.
He did say he was contending though. So if you're starting 3 wide receivers and you're contending, you need Terry McLaurin more than you need any of these wide receivers, right? But to your point about London could get pretty close to where it'd be worth it to trade the age.
I'm with it's the wide receiver 4. I would probably take the 105, but I understand. Travis said exactly the conversation of Terry I was looking for. Thank you, my guy. And fight on Trojans. All right, we have one more. We had 2 more super. Marlon is a patron. Okay, so this is a good roll into what we have now on. Marlon said, "Are you going to post the AMA from last week?" Yes, I'll post the James Cook film session on the Patreon thing today, and I'll get that AMA up, Marlon. Yes, sir. I'll get that done today. And then I think we saw one more from. Got to answer all the super chat questions. One from Ty. Cam Akers and a late 23 first for Joe Mixon. I have 6 total. Wow. Who would you rather have? Akers and your late 23 first or Joe Mixon?
I'd take Joe Mixon.
Oh, boy. Akers in the first, man. I see a lot of people saying Mixon, but...
Yep, you want Mixon. Trust me. Trust me. This season, Mixon's going to be really, really, really good. And Akers is a massive question mark. And so if you're telling me I'm getting Tank Bigsby, Michael Mayer, Tyler Van Dyke, Anthony Richardson, I'm taking Mixon.
I think I would take I think I want Akers in the pick, man. I think there's no doubt I'd rather have Mixon this year. But I'm not trading any 23 first right now, man. Like I'm not doing that right now. Like those are right now, those are picks that I don't care how much better Mixon is than Cam Akers on the merit on that. I'm not moving any 23 first, man. Like I'm just not doing it, man. I'm just not doing it. I can't do it. Not right now. Not right now. Not in May. Not in May. And if he's got 623 first, probably not competing. I mean, maybe, right? But if you're not competing, like I want Akers in the first. I'm not moving. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be trading 23 first right now. Not right now. Would not do that. And he said, just stacking. He's a win now team. I still think I'd rather hold the first than Akers right now. That's where I'm at, man. So yeah, there we go. So Jay, now on the page. So everybody in here, right? We got some people who are patrons, and y'all know everything we do behind the scenes. You know what's in there in the Discord. But we did open up a tier, patreon.com/allgas. It's a $5 tier. It's like the second lowest price thing, and you get access to the Discord community. You don't get any rankings or any of that kind of shit. But if you want, we're going to do shows where like we're just truly answering questions. We appreciate the super chats. But instead of sending a $5 super chat or $4, if you want to just subscribe to the Patreon, you'll be involved with over almost 1,000 people in this community. It's $5 a month, save you something instead of doing a super chat every time. We appreciate it, but we wanted to open something up This is probably not the best business move by me, but
But remember too, the other thing to mention is that you do get access to the trade channel, right? So
yeah,
the trade channel where we pull the trades from for the trade shows, that will also be part of the tier for the Wake Up patrons as well.
Yep. So, wait, Joe said she's going on a mini vacation. Enjoy that vacation, my girl. Enjoy that vacation, Joe. And we're going to end with this one. Let's get it. $10 super chat. You could have paid for 2 months. Come sign up. Patreon.com/2 months. You would have been in the community.
2 months.
I'm on one side of this deal. Which should I have been on? Mooney? Oh, this is good, Jay. What side of the deal would you rather be on? Mooney, a 2023 first and the 211, or the 102 this year and a 2023 third rounder? This is easy for me. Would you rather 102 and a 23 third, or a 23 first, the 211, and Darnell Mooney?
I think I'm taking Mooney, man.
Same.
I think I'm taking the Mooney side. I'm surprised because I know you love Drake. And
I love Drake.
I think this is a conversation about Drake, right? This is Drake.
I love Drake.
If it's 102, it's Drake.
It's Drake and a 23 third. Drake,
but you
London.
got to take Mooney and 23
or
first.
Mooney at 23 first and the 211. Mooney. So
you have to.
All right, he said he's on the Mooney side. There we go. $10 for the confirmation bias. We love you. We appreciate you. Go sign up. $5 a month. You can ask all these questions, get in the trade show. Y'all have a good weekend. We appreciate you tapping in. It's the first week where we went the full new schedule. Shit, we didn't even do a Monday show because I had a pre-K award ceremony. But we'll be back next Monday. Y'all have a great weekend. Comment, tell your friends to join in, and get in here. Get in here on Monday. Mock Draft Monday. We are going to do views from a Dynasty startup. We're going to do views from like the 106. And we're going to do a Dynasty startup with y'all live on the show. Moving forward, Mock Draft Mondays, Players Sort of Value Wednesdays, trade shows on Wednesdays, and then Fun Fridays where we do the wheel. We're going to do Jeopardy. We're going to do Prices Right. We're going to have some damn fun. So we love y'all. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good one. We out. Peace. Oh, wait. I tried to hit the outro video, and it didn't work. The outro video, I don't know. It says it can't find the file. Hold on. Let's try it like this.
You deleted the file. Great. Cold outro, baby.
I did delete